What's up, you guys? This is the Completely Unprofessional Podcast, and I am Dante Chang, and this is our special guest today, Cody Woods,
Hey,
and Nancy Lee,
Hi.
co-host. Hi, how you doing? Um,
that
what's
was
up, Cody?
that was pretty professional, actually.
That's
That
the
was
best
pretty
I
good.
could do.
All right, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
All right.
So Cody was recently shot his set for Heart of the City.
That's right.
How'd that go?
Went great. I'm very confident they'll give me a half hour.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, I know that's arrogant, but like,
There's
I
nothing
think I'm
wrong
gonna
with
get that shit. Yeah, I mean,
That's how you're supposed. I feel like that's how you should think.
I think so. Like, being humble didn't really help. So it's like, I might as well just say the truth. I mean, it went fucking amazing.
Yeah, I was there.
Am I allowed to
It was
cuss?
really good.
I probably.
I guess at the end of the day, humble or arrogant, it just matters on when you come through.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
because we've seen nice guys go over, we've seen assholes go over.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess it just all depends.
Yeah.
You know, right time, right place. Sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
so many things you can't really ever pinpoint it. There's no formula on how to become successful.
No.
Successful
No
entertainer.
formula.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's what it was. It's like, oh, just be humble because that's the formula. It's like I see arrogant guys make it all the time, like delusional people. So it's like, well, how about I just be honest? I think I've earned being honest
Yeah.
about. Yeah, I killed. Like.
Yeah.
But for years I was so afraid of saying, oh, I killed last night. I couldn't. I still have a hard time. They'll ask, like, how'd the show go? I'm like, oh, it went well. Because
Yeah.
I just don't want to look gross.
Yeah, I've seen people say, "We've killed it. I killed it," and then they're like, "That's Dante. Dante was there." I'm like, dude, you got like 4 laughs, and then not the whole audience. Like about 40 to 50% of the audience was laughing. That's
For
not,
them, that's killing
Yeah.
it, though. That's why, because they're comparing it to when they hear crickets. That's
yeah,
why.
It's like I don't know. Your definition, people's definition, what they define as killing is different to a lot of people. You know,
Yeah.
I've seen like borderline. I've seen sets that like. I know if I personally had that amount of laughs, I would be suicidal almost.
Yeah.
And then they're thrilled about it. And I'm like, why are you thrilled about that?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, you've been doing this for 8 years or whatever. Like that's nothing to be proud of. You know, I hate to say it, like you need to go do some work.
Yeah.
You know, you got to tell yourself, oh, I got to do. But they don't. You don't. And I don't know. It's something about when people. I think the best is just to record yourself.
Yeah.
You know, because I know so many people. It's like when you're on stage, something takes over you, and you believe you did better than you actually did.
Yeah.
I've seen that so many times. Like, yeah, that was good, right? I'm like,
Right.
no, no,
Mhm.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever have an opposite where you think you did not so good, but then you listen to it, you're like, oh my God, that was actually exceptional.
No,
For some,
only I would say not that bad.
Okay.
As I thought. When I think, oh, that wasn't that good. You listen to it, all right, it wasn't bad. It just, you know.
I was having that problem for a little bit where it's literally switched where I'm like, oh, that was my favorite show. I can't wait to listen to that. And I'm like, well, okay. And then the one that I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And I listen to it, I'm like, actually, that was better than the one that I.
Yeah.
So I was getting like this weird.
I think sometimes it's not as good as you think sometimes, and sometimes not as bad as you think.
Yeah.
It's always like that. We're so critical on ourselves, most people.
We have much more goals on stage than just a laugh. So it might be just like, oh, I was supposed to close strong tonight,
Yeah.
and then I didn't. And then you just throw away the whole set in your head. But even though
That's
all
true.
of it, you did good. Like, remember, Jay Moore followed me at the Improv, and I hated myself because I didn't close. I was like, all right, sorry. Like, I just, like, beat myself up.
Mhm.
And he's like, that was a good set. Like, like, he said that on the mic. He's like, your parameters are just way off. And they were, because that was around the time where I was listening to stuff, and, like, oh, my God, like, that's not so good. Why did I feel so good about it? And then the one I don't feel good about, that's the one that's actually usable.
I think we all do that. I think it's just, I don't know. But it depends. Everyone's at different levels. You know, like everyone's different. I've seen people like constantly do terrible, and they think the world is hating on them.
Yeah.
Everyone just hates on me, man. Like no, nobody's hating on you.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the worst things to do is as a comedian is blame the audience. It's like, no, then you got to work on your set or just accept the fact that they're not your audience. Comedy is subjective, so you're not going to grab 100% of audiences.
Never. And I think, I don't know. I don't know. I've seen like, I think it really depends. It's so many variables. You know, it's so many different.
I think if you're
things.
good though, the majority of the time you should be doing well. The majority of the
Yeah.
time you should be doing well. That's when you know you're getting good.
I would say out of like, I don't know, a couple thousand times being on stage, I think that I only seen one time where I could say, you know, the audience was just terrible. Maybe once. I'm not even talking about. I'll even give a pass to some of the shit shows, but there was this one time I was like, oh my god, like this is terrible. You know how you know it was bad? Audience wasn't laughing, everyone was bombing, but the bartender, the waitress, the wait staff, the comedians were all laughing.
Oh, okay.
Like they were all getting murdered because they were like. It was also adding to like their frustration. I think.
Okay.
You know?
Are you sure they weren't laughing at your pain? Because sometimes that happens too.
Maybe.
Where you see someone dying and you're just like, I can't believe you still do this.
The jokes that went over was how bad. I just started making jokes about how bad everyone was,
Oh.
including myself.
There you
And
go.
then it kind of like that worked a little bit, but it still wasn't over good enough where it cracked open the room. The room still stayed at that cold open stage. Like, you know what I mean? Like it still felt the whole show felt like it was just 30 seconds in the whole time almost.
Yeah, some audiences are not as lively and fun, that's for sure. But I'm talking about when like comedian like turns on the audience and says, "Fuck you guys, you don't get shit." You live it, and I'm like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
here to entertain them, and if they don't get your jokes, then again,
I've seen
maybe
it.
you
I've seen it
suck."
so many. I think when it happens, it's very entertaining to watch.
What?
When comedians melt down like that.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. I don't know. I just think it is because
Especially when they got nothing in
Yeah.
their emotion, like they want to go at the crowd, but they can't think of it, so it's just emotion. They can't even
Yeah,
think of jokes.
it's not even clever.
I mean, I like it when they go at the crowd cleverly.
yeah, sure.
I saw Greg Proops do that really funny. Like the crowd is just being hostile, and then he just said, "Wow, I'm glad everyone got their truck started before the show tonight." And then it's just like, so it's just like a clever dig. I like a nice
Yeah,
dig at
yeah.
the audience, but not like just fuck you.
No, that's
guys,"
fine.
Yeah,
you know.
Dave
But
Attell does it all the time.
Yeah.
He's brilliant at it.
no, it's all your approach.
Yeah.
You know, it could be most approaches are bad. You
Yeah.
know, but there are a few approaches that you can say, "Oh, that was good. That was clever. That was smart. That was funny."
Yeah.
You know, and then sometimes those are the ones that actually bring it alive.
Yeah. Resuscitate the audience.
Mm-hmm.
That takes talent. That's hard.
So where are you at next, Cody?
Let's see, LA for like 5 seconds, and then going to Lodi, California, which is I think kind of near Sacramento, I think, and then the Pacific Northwest, got some Portland. I got a lot coming up, like a lot.
So follow Cody Woods if you don't.
Yeah, please do. If there's Bay Area people watching, I'm headlining Tommy T September 13th through the 16th. Please come by.
September 13th through the 16th.
Yeah. And then-
Please go.
And the following week, Rancho Cordova, Tommy T is headlining that, whatever days those are, I don't know. But that's following week.
Just follow him on social media and you'll see those dates.
Yeah, I need followers.
So don't be like that. So look, this might sound outdated because I haven't done because I record a bunch of podcasts for the weeks coming. So this has not happened after. Actually it's just it's kind of like the first time I could talk about this because my episode it hasn't happened yet. So you guys know I'm a sports guy, and LeBron has come to the Lakers.
Yeah.
What do
I'm
you-
sure Cody has opinions about that.
What do you think, Cody?
A little butthurt because I'm a Kobe fan, right?
That's a lot of you guys feel.
Yeah.
You a Lakers fan too? You're a Clippers fan, right?
Clippers.
I didn't mean that as a pun for the rape shit either. Like I just meant like I probably should have selected better words about that. But here's the thing: they're already ranking him above Kobe as a Laker, and it's like, come on, dude, he's got to win one ring at least.
No, I think, I mean, to be honest, like, LeBron to me is the best player I've ever seen, but not the greatest player I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, he does so much, but also to be great, you also have to be, clutch performer, which LeBron didn't really get together to get till he got older.
Yeah.
And then something Kobe and Jordan did very young.
Yeah.
And so to me, to me, Kobe is the greatest overachiever in NBA history. Like 13th pick, wasn't supposed to be that good. You
Yeah.
know, as most 13th picks, if you look out through history, they're usually the 8th man. They're not even
Yeah.
starters to usually. You know what I mean? So he worked his way. He willed his way into being to me, a top 5 player of all
Right.
time. You know, I think LeBron. I think LeBron, Jordan, and Kobe are all top 5. I think they definitely knock out people like Bird
That's
and
done.
Magic.
Yeah.
Like people, when people say Magic's better than Kobe, this is the thing. This is the statistic I tell them. You know how many times Magic has scored over 40 points?
Right.
Like I think once or twice
Right.
in his whole career.
Yeah.
Kobe's done it 160 times.
Yeah.
160 times. That's like if you compare two comedians, you're like, this one guy's had 2 standing goals his whole career. This one guy's had 160. Can you even after a while?
Right.
Can you even compare that?
Yeah.
You can. You know, and then and I think being great is also being like Jordan to me is still number 1, but it's also because the position he was in. If Kobe was in that position, things might be different for Kobe. Kobe might be the greatest player of all time. Or if LeBron was in that situation, you know, LeBron's never had a great coach. He's never had except for Miami, except when he got older, he never had a team that truly fit him. Properly.
Well, I think the problem is him, though. See, that's where I become a LeBron hater. Listen, let me just first give props to LeBron. He probably will go down as number 2, I think. I think it's actually very probable.
Yeah.
I don't see him catching Jordan statistically at all, but...
Well, statistically, he will. He's probably not rings.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets enough years under his belt, but Jordan did all those numbers in a matter of, like, 10 years.
Yeah.
And, like, it's going to take LeBron, like, 20.
Yeah.
So it's you know...
That is saying... But it's also this,
Right.
like, if a kid... Say you have 2 kids, you're a teacher, right? If a kid quits halfway through, you know what I mean, and the other kid goes twice as long as he is, but he still builds up the numbers and generates the numbers and generates the grades, then you got to say, hey, he's there. Because
there.
Regardless of, I mean, sometimes being just quitting, it's just like in rap, because Biggie and Tupac had a shorter, or especially Biggie, because he had a short career, like, you can't fault him for that, but it is what it is. You know, like it starts to run out. Like, like if you have like 5 hits compared to 40, Jay-Z has so many more hits than, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like there is something to say about longevity.
Yeah, longevity, it is something.
He is the most longevity, or I don't know what the word would be. He's the most longevity I've ever
durable,
seen. Most durable player
I've ever seen.
Yeah, and the whole roids thing. I think Jordan was on roids too. I think they're all on roids. I mean, Kobe definitely, because with that knee shit when he went to Germany, that was steroids. I mean, so the whole top 3 thing with, like, oh, LeBron might be on performance enhancers. It's very obvious Jordan was probably on roids because how quickly he went bald, right? Like he just started fading, and then like when he went to go play baseball, that a lot of people are the conspiracy is he went to baseball in order to get roids. So and then he came back in '96, bulky as shit, you know, a lot bulkier, and then he just never really got hurt either, you know. So, you know, I think they're all on roids.
That's where Kobe. I feel bad for Kobe is that he had the least durable body. You know, his body gave out early because he had so many miles on his body.
Yeah.
You know, he's been playing at a professional level since he was 19 years old. Whereas in, like, you know, Jordan, I mean, even LeBron, they both, but somehow LeBron has the body that just lasts.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only, sometimes that just, because they're making jokes saying Kobe should come back. I don't think that's a good idea at this point. You know?
I think he might have healed a little bit.
Yeah.
But
maybe taking the time off. I mean,
Yeah.
tearing that MCL so late in his career, that completely, like it just kept him really low to the ground. You know, it took away, I mean, the little explosiveness he had left at that age, you know?
Well, the intelligence of LeBron to be longevity, I don't even think it's just his genetics. He's also really smart when it comes to landing. He lands on both feet. Like, you look at their balance. Like, Kobe was landing on all kinds of shit. Like, he didn't care. He just wanted to dunk on that tree. Where LeBron's like, no, lay it up. I don't have an ego. You know, but Kobe was trying to embarrass people. And then so he got hurt a lot, too. Like, that shoulder, when he was about to, like, well, he did dunk on Garnett. Came around with that reverse, and then he just lands on the shoulder that he just injured, just had surgery. But he's like, no, I must dunk on Kevin. I need Kevin Garnett to know that he's not on my level.
It's ego for him. Kobe has a big ego.
Is that why people hate him so much? Some people hate him.
Yeah, he's very.
He just knows how good he is.
That's he knows how good he is, and then he's almost willing to. This is what he's bad at. He's the type. He takes bad shots. He's probably the greatest bad shot taker in history. But he makes sometimes like decisions that you might question. But for some reason, he pulls it off.
Yeah.
Whereas in LeBron and Jordan could take shots like some of the shots that Kobe took.
Yeah.
He took a lot of chances. He's a gambler. You know.
Is that why? Because I don't hear many people talking shit about Jordan, but I feel like Jordan knows he was good.
You know what I think about Jordan is
He
Jordan
played humble. Jordan did play humble in the
more,
90s.
more of a
But
team
he was
player.
But he also played in an era where there was the media wasn't as so much, social
Right.
media wasn't
Right.
as much.
No, if they would have mic'd Jordan though, they'd be like, "Oh my God, this guy's a monster.
No, he's an
an
asshole.
evil fucking."
Yeah.
I heard he's an asshole.
He punched out his teammates. You know.
Yeah. But here's one thing that I do want to bring up about the whole Kobe LeBron thing. About one statistic that gets on my nerves that people don't bring up. Is everybody's like, "Oh, LeBron makes his teammates better." They always assume that through assists. Assists, by the way, the last person to pass the ball to the shooter to get the point. So technically, you get credit because you saw the open shot through a so LeBron has way more because of the way he plays. He's allowed to bring the ball up and drive and kick. Kobe has never been able to do that. Had he do it, he had more assists. He had to play in the triangle. Triangle lowers assists. Statistically, every player that's played with Kobe Bryant, their stats get better when they're on the team with him, and then as soon as they leave, they drop. So as soon as they get, like when Paul Gasol came on, he didn't have the stats that he did until he played with Kobe. So technically, Kobe and Jordan made their teammates better than LeBron did. But the whole theory is, oh, LeBron passes more, therefore he makes his teammates better. They don't. Everybody has a stat drop as soon as LeBron gets on the team.
Well,
Everybody's going down.
LeBron also holds the ball a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so he has the ball in his hands. He's usually the guy with the ball in his hands crossing half court.
Yep.
So even if, I mean, by default, if the first time he passes, someone takes a shot, you know what I mean? Whereas in, usually like with Jordan or Fisher or like whatever, Jordan had a few different point guards will come up and give the ball to him. So then, you know, he's a first, because at the end of the day, he's the first option.
Right.
So is LeBron, but he just have a different game. You know what I
It's a
mean?
different game, and it's a great game. It's amazing that he can immediately make an Eastern Conference team finals contenders immediately, just with his one-man offense. But I also think Kobe could have did the same thing in the East. I think he would have had just as many finals appearances in the East if he was in the East.
I think it all depends on what's around him and how it fits him. You know what I mean? Like they always try to build, like that Lakers team they built for him. I mean, the Bynum, the Gasol one, they built it knowing that they would all compliment him, and they built it around him.
Yeah.
Now, like they didn't even.
He needs rebounds. That's the one thing Kobe Bryant needs.
Yeah.
He needs somebody. He
And
needs
size.
trees to. Yeah.
He needs size.
He needs it.
He just needs size behind him.
Yeah.
And the thing about what people like Kobe, Jordan, what makes them so great is because why they make you great is because they take so much attention on the floor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're a legitimate threat. They're better scorers than LeBron for sure. Like especially like isolation, they're better. You know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because I mean I see your argument because I saw. Remember when Kobe moved to point guard, and he had triple doubles for like a month straight or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That was because he was dominating the ball.
He was dominating the
Yeah.
ball, and like when Jordan did it, like he was set to break Magic Johnson's triple-double record within like a matter of months. So like the whole driving kick thing, I think it's finally being exposed, especially with Russell Westbrook. The way he drives and kicks, everybody thinks, oh my God, he's like the Oscar Robert. Then you're starting to realize, oh, it's easy to rack up assists when you handle the ball that much, and then when you bail, and then you make this dude's shooting percentage goes down because the shot clock is all the way down now. And he's just getting rid of the ball. So I think assists are the most overrated stat in basketball, like by far. And the most underrated now, sadly, is buckets. Like people act like buckets are just like another stat. It's like no, that's how you win the game. You know, and that's the hardest thing is to be a scorer like that on double teams and just when they know you're going to shoot and it doesn't matter, hand in the face, just draining it. That's the hardest skill.
No, it is. I mean, that's what makes people great.
Yeah.
That's the point of the game.
There's one stat that you would love. I'm sorry, Nancy. I'm sure you're.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm listening. I'm like, what's a bucket?
Points. Yeah.
When the ball goes
baskets.
through the hoop.
Yeah.
Without touching anything?
No, just as long as it goes
It's
through
just
the hoop.
another
Just
name.
score. Yeah, it's
for
like
scoring.
slang for scoring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What's your stat? And then I
there's
have a question.
One really important stat that people just, when you measure everybody, they should do the minimum 40 stat. So what that is, it's 40 minutes or more per game. So obviously someone like Kobe Bryant would have lower average points per game, but we all know he's a better scorer than Jordan for sure.
Yeah, he's a better scorer.
But why is he average less? Well, it's because of his years when he had to come off the bench. Maybe some of those years he should have been.
Offensively, he's the greatest player
Yeah.
ever, probably.
I think
you
so,
know?
skilled wise.
Offensively, no, pure basketball
But-
skill. There's nobody better than him.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that. What makes to me why I always put Jordan above Kobe is his shot selection. He
Yeah.
took better shots. He took easier shots. He took smarter shots.
Yeah.
We're like,
He played off the ball better.
yeah. And then he was more patient, trusted his teammates more.
Yeah.
A little more patient. Kobe was very erratic and very impulsive.
Yeah.
He didn't trust anybody.
No.
He only trusted himself, which is also, you know, you see the effects of it. It could be good for you, bad for you, but it could be to your detriment at times.
Yeah.
You know, because Jordan had no problem deferring, even being the greatest.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I have another question after that. So if you guys have to name your top 5 in order, 1 to 5, who would you pick, Dante, and then you go, Cody?
Okay.
I got Jordan first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
that's
wondering
obvious.
if that was number 1.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
for a
for
while I was
sure.
thinking that you
No.
had LeBron number 1.
No, he's still LeBron. Like I say before I say my LeBron is better than Jordan to me, but not greater, because because of his finals record, because it's so many reasons I could name, but I'll just name them
Like,
all.
what are you
So it's
wearing? What's your
Jordan,
jersey? Jordan.
LeBron,
Number 2.
number 2.
Okay.
Maybe Kobe number 3. You know, it's that close to me. Kobe. I might go with Wilt number 4.
Yeah.
because of-
Will Chamberlain?
Yeah, because of his.
Oh.
He scored 100 points in the game. He basically changed the game. He's
Okay.
one person you could say that really changed the game.
Yeah.
I put him above Russell because of his numbers. Russell played with 6 Hall of Famers. We get on Golden State Warriors for having what do they have now? 4, at least 4 to 5 now. But the Boston Celtics had 6
Yeah.
at that time. So like, come on, like what they did was incredible, but
Yeah.
still like, and it's not like he dominated offensively. He averaged like 15 points. He got a lot of rebounds, and also he played when he's guarding a 6'7" white guy. You know, it's
Yeah.
So was Wilt, but
Wilt could do that today too.
I don't know if he'll average 50 points a game. He averaged 50 points a game,
I think he'd average 40.
huh?
I think he'd average.
Yeah, 30 to 40. I think 30, really, honestly, but yeah, he would
Um,
be dominant.
Because like Shaq averaged 40 when he was healthy.
Yeah.
You know, that was the problem with Shaq. It was just the health. You know. But I think like Wilt was more of an athlete than Shaq and Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Like Wilt, I think he ran a 4.5 or some shit like that.
He had a
and then-
50-inch vertical.
and a 50-inch vertical. And do you ever see that video when he started doing left-hand hook shots? He was playing horse with people, and he just went to the 3-point line. He's like, "There you go," and just started doing left-handed hook shots from the 3-point line. And well, it would be 3-point line because
He was 7'3".
Yeah,
He was 7'3", and Will Chamberlain.
I think
Yeah.
he benched like 400.
Yeah,
like
he benched like 400. And then
Yeah.
he had a
I remember him.
he had a
He's huge.
50-inch
Yeah.
vertical.
That's crazy.
But Jordan had I think a 46-inch vertical. I think.
48.
48 vertical. So he jumped higher than Jordan, jumped higher than Kobe, jumped higher than LeBron, but he was 7'3". Only thing is, he was only thing they fault him for. He played in the 60s and 70s. So, but he really dominated. He scored 100 points in a game. He averaged 50 points.
Yeah.
To score even 50 points once, there's a 50
Back
point club.
then, yeah.
There's a 50 point
Yeah.
club where like they have all the players that scored over 50 points. It's a club.
Yeah.
It's considered like an average NBA game is like 95 points. So you scored.
Yeah.
And he scored
More than
100.
half,
He scored and he averaged 50, scored 100,
Mm-hmm.
and then he averaged like 27 rebounds a game. Like those numbers are statistics individually. That's insane. You know that's why. I mean,
Is he the one who slept with 400 something people?
20,000 women.
20,000 women.
20,000 women.
John Witherspoon. I just opened for him. He has a joke about that. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen him? He's like, "Now, if you're gonna tell a lie, don't tell no Godzilla. That's a lie. I mean, you see the Lakers Stadium? That's 19,000 people. He fucked all of them."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Yeah, it's true. Like, there's no way he fucked 20,000 people."
Nah, I don't think so either.
Yeah,
I love how I know nothing about him except that he slept with 20,000.
yeah.
I got a
Wilt
joke
is
about that too.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's different, completely different. It was
So
completely-
who's your fifth?
yeah. That's well. I think you had number 4 actually, because you said
That's Wilt number 4. Kobe
Wilt's
number
number
3.
4. Maybe no, Kareem number 5.
okay,
Kareem, okay.
pretty good.
Okay, what about you, Cody?
Jordan number 1, and
Oh, you too.
there's
Okay.
space in between that too. That 2 is a little
Way far second.
Yeah, because shooting 50%, averaging 33, average 37 in a season as a 6'6" guard. I think that's a lot harder to do than being a genetic freak. Even though he is a genetic freak, Jordan is a genetic freak. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
He just had some things that aren't as marketable athletically wise. Like LeBron, you could look at him, he looks like a fucking monster.
Yeah.
But Jordan had perfect vision. Like they were doing this eye test. He could see across the room, like and read letters. Like so. So he had that. And then he had these hands.
The biggest hands.
The hands, like I'll take the hands over an extra 40 pounds of muscle for real. Because like when you go up, you do a layup because you play basketball. Can you imagine just like how hard it'd be to block your shot if you could wave it like a tennis ball, which is what he was doing? I'll take that any day. And then plus he's a little slimmer, so he's getting through those gaps better. And you can't tell when he's palming, when he's dribbling, because he could just fucking
like he did it all the time. He got caught for it sometimes.
So he's like a Michael Phelps. Doesn't Michael Phelps have webbed feet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a genetic freak. Okay.
It's just a specialty body, perhaps the best for basketball all around. LeBron is a better athlete. Like if he played football, you'd beat him in most sports.
Bigger, stronger, faster.
But specifically for basketball, Jordan's probably the most
number
catered.
1 for you too.
He's one of them. Like it's weird. I've had this discussion with a few people. There's Wilt, there's Jordan, there's LeBron, there's Kevin Garnett. Like I love that size too, like 6'11".
Yeah.
Long.
Wiry.
And the one, who? This funny thing is, no one remembers this, but it actually made me lose a lot of money, because Jordan, I remember said in 2000, the year 2000, he said that Darius Miles was gonna be the best player of this generation. He was very wrong.
Isn't he a gambler? Isn't he known
no, he's
for being
also
a gambler
he's also
too?
horrible at picking talent. He's the worst, right?
Yeah.
He's the worst.
He's the
at
worst.
picking talent. Jordan's the worst. And this is the thing about. I remember reading this about Darius Miles. He was 6'9" and had a 7'6" wingspan or something like that, or something like close to 8-foot wingspan, damn near.
Wow.
Being 6'9". So you think, oh, this guy. Then he was quick. He was deceptively strong, but he just didn't care. He recently went bankrupt. That's all the thing. Yeah, after like $70 million contract.
What happened to him?
I wonder if
He
Jordan
got hurt too, but he still wouldn't have been that great.
I don't know if it's about picking talent. I think Jordan just destroys them as soon as they commit. Because you remember how he used to abuse, what's his name?
Kwame Brown?
Yeah.
Everyone abuses Kwame Brown.
I know, but I think when the greatest of all time does it, it takes your soul.
Yeah, maybe. But you know what else to think about him? I heard he's an asshole.
Yeah.
And then he has little hands. He can't palm a basketball.
Oh, what's his
Kwame
name?
Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's
I heard he
6'11".
has small. Yeah, I heard he has small hands.
And then you know what he used to do? Because he used to live by my mom's house.
Yeah.
Right? And he used to go into like places and just not pay. And be like, I'm Kwame Brown. I'm not
Oh
paying.
my
And he
gosh!
would just leave.
You should pay double.
He would like ring up a bill at like Fridays, the one with my mom's house, and just leave.
That's so classless.
And then he would like, he would just talk shit to people. Sometimes it's your
Hella
karma.
ghetto.
And
Well, Jordan was cheap, so maybe he just saw that. He's like, oh, this guy's a piece of shit like me, and that's what I'll do is I'll be a piece of shit to him to help elevate his piece of shitness, and then he can finally compete. But the thing is, Jordan will break you down.
Yeah.
So I think he just started to realize, like, oh, these people are fragile. I think that's what it is. 'Cause-
It's also the generations change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah.
as time goes, we guys both know people keep getting softer and softer. And
Yeah,
I
a little
know.
They get so
Hurts
sensitive.
so easily.
You're like, oh my gosh. I'm so
Everybody's
sensitive.
way too sensitive about everything.
And they're actually it's horrible for comedy. Being so
is.
sensitive destroys comedy.
Yeah.
'Cause, oh, you can't say that. Don't say this. Like that's like saying, oh, okay, that's like go to the NBA player. Okay, you can no longer crossover. You can never do that the crazy crossover anymore. No more of that.
Right.
It's too crazy.
Some
Yeah.
limitations are good, but there should be very minimal limitations for comedy.
I don't think it should be any. None. I don't think, in my opinion.
Well, you know what? Actually, you're right. You know why? Because if you cross over too far, the audience will let you know, like Michael
Yeah.
Richards.
yeah.
You do it to yourself then.
No, even that. I mean, even what he did wasn't very nice.
But he ruined his own
But
career, so
that
you're
was
right.
his truth. Yeah, and then the effect of what the after effect of what happens to your career.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So,
So-
you're very libertarian when it comes to comedy. I
No, you
see.
should be able to say anything, anything. And I love
Yeah.
people. And you know what's crazy? Sometimes, like the people that are getting okay, so for instance, like I have a joke about gay bashing, right? Every time gay people have heard it, they laugh and they come up to me and say how much they thought it was funny how
Yeah.
I flipped it. and then like, but other people will get offended by it. Other regular people that aren't gay will get offended by
And
it.
they probably
but
don't
the
even
gay
have gay
people like the
friends.
joke.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And that's like it just it's a state of mind we're in. If it was 19, I know this is in 1988, but if it was, nobody would have a problem with it. You know what I mean? Back then, gay people didn't have a big of a voice, and so it would have been, they kind of would have just kept like, oh my gosh, this guy's. They might have been offended
Right.
back then, actually, but now it's like the people that aren't that. You know, I was saying like, I remember saying a lesbian. I was making fun of. I said something funny about lesbians. This girl that's not even a lesbian got so offended, and then
Sounds white.
yeah, she was.
That's just gotta save the world.
Exactly. People act like they're heroes for other people, and the thing is, they don't even have any gay friends. They don't even have any black friends. But that's happened to me many times too, where black people come up to me after I do a joke about black people, and then they'll be like, "Oh, you're funny.
Yeah.
You're cool. You cool. They know.
Yeah.
They know." And then it's the other people who are like, "Oh, that's kind of racist. Is that okay to say?" It's like, well, you don't know because you don't have black friends. That's
Yeah.
why you're questioning it.
Yeah, that's why their lines are always more extreme than usual. You know, like those weird rules, like, oh, I don't see color. That's all. That comes entirely from white liberals. Entirely. Like, you never hear black people fighting racism by like, well, just don't notice the color. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't say that. It's white
Yeah.
liberals. So like, they make more of a line of the sand.
Yeah.
So they could have a chance to either be self-righteous or they're just
Yes.
that dumb where they think it's actually the solution because they're just not around enough people of color.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I know that's a weird thing to say, people of color, even today.
I know. I don't
there's
like that either because then there's just white.
You're
That's
just reversing
ethnocentric.
colored people.
Yeah.
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 It's everyone else besides white people.
Exactly.
is.
It's still
Yeah.
ethnocentric. It's like,
Yeah.
well, then the other. You're always the other.
Yeah.
But going back to your list,
I wrote
who's
a bit
number
about.
2?
Well, I'll get to that because now we're cooking. Like I was thinking the time machine. Like, can you imagine trying to correct someone in like the 70s about using colored people? Like, hey, don't say colored people, right? Like, I'm from the future. Don't, like, it's a bad thing. So what should I say? People of color, like, you know, like, how do you?
Their ethnicity. They'll be like, what does
Yeah,
that
it's
word
like-
mean?
Yeah.
Someone showed this to me. A black dude showed me this. So one of my black friends showed me a TV show from the 70s, or I'm not sure if it was a TV show or a movie. The title of the show was called Boss Nigger. That was the name of the show.
Okay.
What channel
Okay.
is this?
Some stuff like that
I
I'm
don't
glad
know,
has changed.
it was and the funny thing, Rick James sang. I believe Rick James did the soundtrack.
Okay.
It was just a black dude that was a sheriff in a town, and so they called him Boss. He was a black dude, and then he just came and just took over the town, and they called him Boss. And the funny thing is, they would call him that word. They would call him nigga like
oh,
it was nobody's business all the time, and he would arrest you.
Yeah.
You know.
Well.
I just watched the preview of it, and then I don't know why. I feel like it was like when YouTube first started popping. What was that, like early 2000s?
Yeah.
All my black friends kept showing that to me. Hey, look, Jake, this is hilarious, dog. I'm like, this is hilarious. It is hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I like to play it when like just to see people's reaction, like especially my black friends, just to play it like.
Yeah.
What the hell is this? You know what I mean? Because it's like it was a song too.
Really?
Yeah, it was a song. Yeah, they call him Boss.
Yeah.
They call him.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Your black friends probably wouldn't mind, but I definitely have some black friends where they never use the N-word. They're ashamed of it. They hate it. And they're more on the side of Oprah because Oprah, I mean, this hit me hard too. Oprah was like, I'll never say that word because that's the last word that my ancestors heard before they were hanged.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's scary.
I'm not going to
That's
say
what,
that.
you know, like, because I grew up in a mostly black school, and I had friends that said, oh, you could say it. And I remember seeing white guys that also got permission. and they exercised it, and I did not, because it's like, who cares that they said it? Don't you feel weird saying it? Don't you? And that's what drove me crazy. Like, when I saw, you know, all these mini M&Ms walking around my school.
Were there wannabes at your school?
Yeah. I mean, because you had to. 'Cause here's the thing. Black culture overwhelms. Like, if you're not wearing what they're wearing, if you're not saying what they're saying, you're just going to get made
You're
fun of.
corny. You're
Exactly. Exactly. Get made
Yeah.
fun of.
Corny.
I know that is.
Yeah.
I know that is.
Right?
I mean, look what happened to Dante. Look at Dante.
I know.
This is a white guy.
Prime example.
This is a
though.
white guy.
Oh, which number?
It's Bill Winnington. Remember him?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, good. You're fair. You represent.
No, we're white people. We're a lot of white people.
Yeah, like all my white culture was lost as soon as I went to that school because there was this, I forget, I read up on it as like some federal policy where you started taking poor white kids and poor black kids and just sending them across town, right? Like even though there's a school closer, I got selected to go across town, you know, and it was just like a forced integration thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very glad it happened. At the time, I'm like, you know, I'm
Tough.
getting my ass kicked.
Every day.
But now I don't say dumb shit like I don't see color. Like so, thank God.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going over there, and like I used to like BMX. I used to like skateboarding.
Oh, that's right.
I used to like Limp Bizkit and all that shit. That they cleansed me of that. It became Wu-Tang and basketball, and like you know, it's just like this is how I'm gonna interact with people is over these things. So, you know, yeah.
No more dirt bike riding.
Right. That's one thing I like that Democrats did was like forcing that integration. Because now look at how good the millennials are doing, at least when it comes to diversity. I mean, they're also overcorrecting shit all the time,
Yes.
too.
They are better, though, at some stuff, for sure.
No, you know what
They
I
are.
would say millennials are good at? They're good at making money. They're really good at it. They're really, really good at it. And
Are they?
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of them
Really?
are spoiled, though,
yeah,
and
they're a lot,
entitled.
some of them are spoiled. And I'll say this, they're a lot more, than, especially my generation, they're a lot more honest. As far as like, they're more about good business than getting over on you. My generation was like,
Okay.
I'm just going to get over on the situation.
You're right. Because I mean, the tech boom, those are all millennials. And
Yeah.
you're right. They cleared up a lot of bullshit professionally. But
They
you know
seem
what?
more ethical in some
But they
ways.
become
Yeah.
capitalist, cutthroat motherfuckers once you get, like, every app job starts off great.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Uber and Lyft, I can't believe I'm paying this. And then eventually they're just like,
The greed takes
yeah.
over. It does.
So
It
they
does.
take a loss for a little bit and they're like, okay, here's $500 if you refer a friend. You know, hire more competition for yourself, dipshit. Okay. And then now there's too many Lyft drivers.
Yeah.
And now they totally, so yeah, they're really smart. They do know how to make money.
They're good at, really good at it.
Yeah.
Everybody
You're
gets
right.
taken over by greed
Damn.
eventually.
I met a kid, cool kid named Anthony. I used to shop at the store he worked at. He was making, I think, $15 an hour. He was 20 years old, and he was like, "I want to be like you, man." I was like, "Look, man, I don't know what to tell you." You know, he was like, "Well, let me just hang around you and learn stuff." And I was like, "All right." So he hung around me a little bit. We hung out a few times. Next thing you know, this guy is like, he makes like 10 times more than me now. Within 2 years, he's like 22 years old. You know, just.
I think they take advantage of all the outlets that we have now.
Yeah.
Every social media, they're on the phone all the time. They have no
Yeah.
shame about it. They take selfies. They just market. They're just in this generation where it's normal.
Better. I think where it goes is because I remember he was. I like to sometimes do this to people in business. I like to put you in a position where you could screw me, just so I
See where they're,
to see how you are, to
Yeah.
see where your true color, to
Yeah.
see if we can move further on to bigger business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to put you in a position like, okay, I'm gonna let this guy put this position where he can screw me or do the right thing, but it's gonna be very tempting for him to screw me, just so I know who he is.
Actually, you know what? You're right. Do you know that's Lincoln's quote?
What?
He says that the true test of character is not when a man goes through adversity. Everybody goes through
Yeah.
adversity. It's when they have power.
Yeah.
That's the true test.
So I
of your
love doing that to
character.
people. I'm not gonna lie. Ever since I was young, I was a manager of a store when I was like 17. And I always like to see I would put like you throw these boxes out. I'd put clothes in the boxes, so expensive clothes in the boxes to see if you
steal
see
it.
if you either steal it, take it to your car, or you bring it back and say, hey, did you put the jacket in the box? I would do shit like that just to test the
Oh.
person's character. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And their integrity. You
At
know what I
such
mean?
an early age, you did that?
Yeah, I don't know.
You
I started
already
really
didn't
young.
trust people?
No, I mean, you know what it was? Like, my wife says, like, I was always growing up being lied to by everybody. You know, like, my family lied to me and stuff. You know, it's out of love, but, you know, we'll get into that another. But I was lied to a lot by the people that were closest to me. So
Are
it
you
made me-
pessimistic a little bit? You are, right?
I know, I will trust somebody. I have no problem. But I have to be sure that I could trust you. Because when I haven't, I've been screwed. I have been at a point in time where I let my guard up, like, all right, this person seems all right. And the sad thing is it even happens sometimes even after they win that first one. You know, they'll win your trust by not falling for the bullshit or about falling for the test. But later on, when, you know, greed comes a factor, their personal situation becomes a factor.
Right.
You know,
well, they
like-
see you're a good person and patient and
Yeah.
forgiving.
Yeah.
So then they take advantage.
But I
of
mean,
that.
people that know me well. Like once I see the bullshit, I'm out. I don't know you anymore. Like
Right.
we're
I
done.
know. I know this
Yeah.
personally. I know
Yeah,
people
I
in your
don't-
life you've cut out.
Yeah, I'm like I'm done. Goodbye.
I know.
You know, I no longer know you.
I wasn't sure if it was just you or maybe it's an only child thing because I feel like you guys kind of
Yeah, I shut the door
similar.
abnormally quick.
You have to. Kanye
have
said it best. He says, once I see the bullshit in a person, I just cut you off. There's no warnings, no nothing.
Yeah.
And this is my theory on this. I might have said, but basically, like there's two situation go two ways. So sometimes there's a mental mistake. The person's just dumb, and just to say a person's just dumb and he just fucked up. Like for instance, a very good friend of ours.
Oh, yeah?
A friend of ours
I
broke.
wonder who that is.
Well,
Go
no,
ahead.
not him. Somebody else. Not somebody you know, but that's not that cool with you, right?
All right.
Broke $600 shades of mine,
Yeah.
right? And then I was
Aw.
just like, don't worry about it, man. It's all good. It's out the window that quick.
Yeah.
Because it's an accident. It's a complete accident.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing is on your intention. Like if you have malice or like you have malice intentions.
Yeah.
Like you know, like then it's like you have like unpure intentions. Then that's when we have a problem, and I can't fuck with you.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's when to me I feel like there's people that I've cut off and they're like asking me, hey man, what happened? Da, da, da. I don't think you deserve the right to even know. I believe you need to mentally suffer for this.
Right.
You know what I mean? For what you
What?
did.
You
And try
should
to-
tell them and still
Never.
keep them cut off.
Never.
What? How are they going to learn?
Never. They should
Why?
figure
Well,
it out
that
themselves.
opens the
might
door for
not.
them. That opens the
It
door for
opens
them.
the door, and
Yeah.
also they don't deserve to know because they're wrong.
You
And
know
plus,
what? You
you
guys
know
don't
what?
have siblings.
Here's, I know, yeah, but here's the good part about it, because like we had to build our circle.
Yeah.
So that's why I think you're really good at finding, like you had to build. There was vacancies. You know, everybody else had people around. So you're like, well, why not just pick the best for the role? You know, sort of. And then I think that's why it made you more business inclined as well. I'm not that business inclined, but like, I mean, I think it worked in your favor where you're like, okay, these guys just fill these roles. And then if somebody fucks up, I don't have the time because time is everything.
Yeah.
So, no, yeah, at first it'll open the door for them to come back in, so close it.
Yeah.
Then also, in that meantime, you can do something else and find someone else who could fill a role here.
Yeah.
Okay,
know?
that works in
Absolutely,
business, but what do you do in relationships? You're married. Obviously, when you know your wife makes a mistake, you can't just cut her off,
No.
right?
No, but no, because a marriage is like it's like it's like teamwork.
Gene, are you listening?
She doesn't listen, so I can say anything. It's teamwork. Like I'm proud of the missus because she's made an effort.
Yeah.
She's made an effort to know where she's like she needed to make adjustments to make this relationship work. Just like
Yeah.
I know I had to make adjustments.
Yes, it's a
and then
partnership.
it's fine. But she's like I said, she's never done anything maliciously shady. There's a right in an instance. I'll just divorce her ass if she did.
Okay, it's
You
not
know?
malicious, but there are times in relationships where your intentions are not always pure, though. Sometimes you're mad at the person and you're like, oh, well, I want to show you what you did to me. So it's not necessarily pure, but it's not evil either. It's kind of like
And
when
that's
you...
to me. I think that's okay.
That's forgivable?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. Malicious is like, I don't
Pure
know.
evil?
You're just pure evil. You
They're
know what I
trying
mean?
to destroy you.
or just malicious, or like even like he steals Cody's fucking sunglasses. To me, that's like it's unexcusable.
Right.
Okay, if you broke the sunglasses, great. Fine. I mean, I'll definitely look past it. You
Right.
steal the sunglasses, fuck you.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know you anymore.
Okay, but
It's
what
that simple
about in your
to me.
careers? I feel like there are reasons for people to be jealous of both of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you get a little wary of who might be using you or being an opportunist? Because in this business, you kind of do have to network and make connections. You were just talking about this last night
Mm-hmm.
about you not being sure where people are coming from.
Yeah, no, that's
when
why
they're
I told
nice
you
to
I
you.
kind of like just don't. I brush. Honestly, I stick with the same people. If you look around me, like they're the people I started with. Like
That's true.
I met I met you early on.
Years
I met
ago, uh-huh.
I met Nikki at my very first open mic
Aw,
ever.
I love
I
Nikki.
met Amir like a month in. We stayed friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so, my surroundings is like it's longevity there.
That's very East
know?
Coast, I've noticed. East Coast people take a long time to trust somebody.
Yeah, it's a long game for sure.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
Because, like, no one has the patience to fuck you over if you have to wait so long.
Yeah.
So I think that's a smart thing. But also, it could be, you try to be inviting and shit, to that type of personality, and they might be like, what are you doing? You know, why are you being nice? Why are you being all cheery? You know. So yeah, I remember I was like, I know he's like an East Coast guy. I could feel it when I first met you. I
Yeah.
was like, it's just gonna take a little bit, you know, but you know, just be around, and then it just
It's
you
true.
bond better after a while too.
And you also
know?
know it's genuine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Sometimes you get tangled with people just because you're in the same place a lot.
Yeah,
know?
time reveals everything.
Sometimes you're
Yeah.
in the same place. You end up in the same place as some people.
Yeah.
You just get cool. You know.
Right.
Sometimes no.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think it's a smart approach. I mean, when you understand that, I think it's a very good approach. But most people on the West Coast maybe don't understand it, and they don't understand the process.
Yeah, I remember there was a comedian. Like I
Right.
remember, like I was a month in. I hung with this comedian like 3 times, and he started telling people that I was like his best friend. I was like, hey, all right, you know what, man? It's not that. This is not. That's
Right.
not how I roll. I didn't say that, but I was like, this guy's a fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? Like I just met this dude 3 times. He's like, yeah, he's one of my best friends. He's one of my best friends,
Right.
dog. My best friend. I'm
That
like,
sounds like very LA.
Very
LA.
LA.
People are
No,
so
They
saccharine
oversell it.
sweet.
Yeah.
Right from the beginning, you're like, oh my God, I'll call you. Let's
Yeah.
be friends. Blah, blah, and then you never hear from them.
And then if you don't match it, their bullshit. If you don't match that level, then
Yeah.
you come off as rude.
Rude, right.
I mean, even the tiniest little bit. But like normally, people just need to feel each other. Most places, most cultures, but LA, like everything's a job interview because you don't know who's gonna take you to the next
Right.
level.
Uh-huh. That's
You
why
know.
people hate on LA. I'm from the Bay Area and I hear it all the time. They're like, oh, people down there are so fake. I'm like, that's because at every party, every social function, you're always networking. You never get to leave work.
Yeah.
Whereas up north or anywhere else, once you clock out, you're done. You can be normal. And if you don't like somebody, you can be rude to them. But in LA, people are always afraid, like, oh, who are you? What can you do for me? Oh, who are you connected to? So you got to play that game.
I've seen things like backfire so bad. I can't even name names, but
Don't-
and
yeah,
it's so
don't-
true. I can't. I've seen this happen.
But what happened?
I've seen like basically this is a crazy story, but I've seen an instance where a person fronted weed. This guy we used to buy weed from, right? Another friend asked him, can he get fronted like a few $100s worth? I don't remember exactly how much, maybe a few ounces or whatever. You know, the guy never paid him back. Now the guy that borrowed the weed, his brother's an actor, like a B list,
Oh, that's
B
still-
the A on working, very well off, right? The funny thing is, the guy that fronted him the weed, his buddy was casting something huge. No, his buddy was casting like a $150 million budget movie, right? Literally, and he thought about his brother. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, maybe I should bring him in for a role. He's like, nah, man, his brother fucked me. All this. He's like, oh, he fucked you? You're my boy. Fuck it, we won't even call him
Yeah.
in. He didn't want to even let him come in. He was
Yeah.
like, fuck it then. He screwed you over. You're my boy. Nah, screw it then.
Yep.
So over $300, you might have cost your brother millions.
Yeah.
Over $300.
Dumb choice.
You know what I mean? Like you don't. That's why you don't.
I like that.
That's why you don't do shady shit to people. Like
That's
you know what I
street
mean?
justice. I
Yeah,
like
is.
it.
I was like, oh my god. When I thought about it, I was like, holy shit. And the person to this day does not know.
Doesn't know.
That
See,
doesn't know.
Yeah.
No, because why bring it up at this point? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you just
stupid.
he's
He
gonna-
knows. He knows he did it.
Because
No,
here's
no,
the-
but no, the
it-
person, the actor doesn't know.
No,
that
no,
his
I
brother
know, I
fucked
know.
him.
Yeah.
I don't think even that guy knows.
So you don't feel like it's worth it to tell that person of yours who screwed you over why? You want them to figure it out themselves, but
Yeah.
what if they never
well, they're
figure it out?
dangerous too.
That's fine. That's
They're
fine.
dangerous.
Because you know what? You know what it is? I've heard of people coming back to me and going, man, you really fucked so-and-so's head up. That person is, you made him go cuckoo. And that's not my fault. It's not my purpose to try to make you go cuckoo. But it's not
No,
my
it's not your
responsibility.
fault.
It's also not my responsibility to give you peace of mind either.
Right.
You know what I
No,
mean?
it's not. That's
you
true.
you deserve, in my point, you deserve to try to figure this out on your own, or you deserve the pain of trying to figure it out because of your actions. Your actions were malicious. You know what I mean? So if I just tell you what you did wrong, I'm doing you a favor, and I don't owe you a favor at this point.
No, that's true. You don't owe it to them. I was just curious.
So I'm done with you. So you need to,
Yeah.
in my opinion, I know you're gonna suffer, and that's not my intent, but you are gonna suffer. Because
Of course.
that's what that does. It mentally fucks you up.
Sometimes brokenness is good. Maybe they'll find Jesus.
And they might find vengeance in the way if you let them back in.
Yeah.
That's true.
So it's good to
You
just
can't
cut them
trust
off.
'em.
You can't. That's it.
Yeah, I've cut off like people I've known for 20 years because I see some weird shit. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And people have told me I'm heartless. Because
No,
of
you're
that.
not.
Be-
You've given them several chances before you cut them
No,
off.
no, not really.
No?
No,
I
that's
thought
because
you
you're not.
did.
That's because you're not shady.
No.
No, no. Once I see, all right, if you like stole my phone, figure out you stole my phone, I'm never talking to you again. You know what I mean? Like, but you wouldn't do that. To
No.
you, it's hilarious because you don't even think like that.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
to some people, that's like people are crazy. You know what I mean? You got to
Yeah.
see what people do, what people are able to do when no one's looking. That's really shows somebody who they are. You know, it really
Yeah.
tells you who they are for real.
I think it's the way you're raised and what kind of friends too. I grew up fairly street. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I had some pretty thuggish friends. You do one little shady thing, you're out. You get your ass beat.
Mm-hmm.
You might even get shanked in the bathroom in high school if
That's
you
the way
do
it should
something.
be. That's the way it should be. It should be like that.
I think it's a little extreme, but that's why with my friends now, you know, they know me as super loyal, one of the most loyal friends. But if you screw me over too, I do end up cutting people off as well, or I keep them at a distance. There are some friends still now that still try to reach out to me, and I know they can tell I don't call back as quickly, I don't hang out, I don't make that effort.
I don't even answer. I don't even call you back. I don't. It's like, for what? I mean, for what?
Yeah.
Now you're just entertaining them. You know what I mean? Like, for what?
I
You
guess
know?
I feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know what's funny? In my lifetime, I've done that. Whenever I'm cool with somebody because I feel sorry for them, it never goes well. Something fucked up always happens. You know what it is? You know why they're by themselves? Because they don't know how to be a friend. They don't know. That's why they're by themselves. They have no experience. It's like a virgin. They don't know how to sex yet because they have no experience. Them as a friend have
Virgin
no
friend.
experience. Therefore, will fuck this up. And that has no. Guess what? Maybe go learn how to be a friend somewhere else.
They need an
Then come holler at me
intervention.
when you've learned.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Right.
some people just have no clue. They only know themselves because they've been by themselves. You know?
Yeah,
And guess
yeah.
what? I'm too old to try to teach you how to be cool. You know what I mean? And this thing in my lifetime, I've noticed this, right? Like, I've known shady people, I've known good people. You know, we've all have, right? Probably more shady than good, right? Most people. Anyways, I've only known like one person to actually change. You know what I mean?
How did they change?
Well, they were just always stealing and you know,
Uh-huh.
doing people and lying and screwing
Uh-huh.
people over and doing, and then guess what? This person lived like very poor because he was always it was the next scheme, like doing robberies. I've seen him rob people with his gun. You know what I mean?
Broke-minded.
I seen him do this. He would go, "Hey man, you want me to go get you a pound of weed?" He would go in the building and come back out and be like, "Oh man, they robbed me," and just keep everything, you know, shit like whatever. You know what I mean? He would pretend he would do this, but he would always end up broke. After he stopped being shady, within 5 years, this guy became like a multimillionaire. After he stopped being shady, he's like, "I read The Secret, and I'm not gonna be like that anymore, man." Like, but he really. It sounds funny, but he really changed. He really changed, and then like I think now what happened to him is also bad. He married a woman, and the woman owned like a lot of big business. Then she died. Right, with like they were about to get a divorce, and she died, and he got left everything.
Oh,
and
so he just got really lucky.
He got really lucky. But see, that luck didn't happen till he changed, till he turned good.
Oh, good. Okay,
You know
well,
what I mean?
that's
Like,
good.
it didn't
I'm
come
glad.
to him when you're a shitty person.
I-
Lot of good things don't happen to you when you're shitty. For some reason, if you're just generally good,
Shitty things happen to good people too, and bad things
It
happen
happens.
to good
Both,
people. You know,
both.
yeah, you can't.
because
yeah.
sometimes, like, I know that hard work is rewarded always, even when you're bad.
In America, yes,
Yeah, it is.
hard work is rewarded. That's,
But for some reason, I feel like the good people get lucky. They get really lucky.
that's not true. I think good people get shit luck too.
They do, but from my experience, seems
There are a lot of
little bit
bad
too.
people who get lucky too. Wouldn't you agree? There are a lot of
I don't know.
assholes who are
You know what?
rich and famous and popular and have a lot of power. They're assholes.
I don't know. I don't know. Don't talk to those
You don't
people.
know them personally because you hang around good people and you're a good person.
Yeah.
But there are
Thank you.
plenty of rich assholes out there who don't
Plenty.
deserve their riches. They're just sharks.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, they're just sharks. And I think a lot of the lucky ones that are born into that environment, they
Yeah.
didn't necessarily have the choice
Yeah.
to not be a shark.
Yeah.
Like, I was just talking with Fernando about this last night. He's shitting on this show called Secession on HBO. One of the best shows I've ever seen. Like, it's really good. It's about these 1%er New York blue blood family.
Yes.
Rich. And then, so this dude, the dad is dying, who owns the company, and then they're all fighting to get the spot. Every person in the family is just a piece of shit, you know. And yeah, just cutthroat, awful, you know, business-minded, 100%.
Yeah.
And then Fernando was like, "This show sucks. One-dimensional characters. Like, it's not believable." And I'm like, yeah, because you're naive. Like, you know that's what it's like up there.
It is.
And he's like, well, I like Breaking Bad. It's like, yeah, because you're looking for redeemable qualities. Jesse Pinkman and Walter had a choice to become bad or good. When you're born into a lucky environment, you don't necessarily have a choice. You got to sink or swim with the sharks to be like the rest of your kin.
I would say, yes, you have a choice, but I get why they are the way they are. I
What
get
are you talking
it.
about? Huh?
The Succession people, those kinds of people. I get why they are the
But
way
I
they
also
are.
know.
Yeah,
I know
because
this-
your family pressures you into being that.
Right. But you always
Or else
have a
they will
choice.
ostracize you because they're like, what the fuck? You got to operate on this level. You got to be a piece of shit, or else you're going to fuck up my money. Like, so
get
it
it, yeah.
shows that. And I kind of like that. I'm like, see? And then it just shows that the lucky people aren't so lucky. Like, it actually sucks.
Sometimes,
being in that.
sometimes it's a curse, right?
Yeah.
Comfort can be a curse because you
Yeah.
get lazy, and then you expect this high all the time.
Well, I admit, I really admire the people that don't, that came into a good situation. Say like their family was multi millionaires or whatever, and they work hard.
Yeah,
I really admire
those are
that.
the best.
Yeah, those are the best. They end up the best.
Yeah.
But no, I thought about this while you were saying this. Sure, if people came into a good situation to get even richer, yeah, they could be assholes. I mean, I've seen fucked up. But anyone that I knew poor, I know a few people, not a lot. It's really hard because the system's against you. But I mean, you met one of my friends. They're like, they grew up poor and now they're very wealthy. They're always good people. They're always cool. I've never met with like, you're pretty
They're
shitty.
usually cool.
You're
yeah,
usually cool.
Yeah,
Because they know what it's like.
usually.
You know, they
Yeah.
know it's like they might not deal with a lot of people,
Uh-huh.
but they're like cool. But and I also know like I don't know, I've met a lot of people that
Poor assholes too.
Yeah.
They exist too.
no poor.
Well, yeah, I think athletes, that's where there's a lot of poor assholes that became, because like if you didn't have to build the business, if you just inherit the money, it's always about inheriting the money. You know what I mean? Like athletes usually, they technically inherit it because it's not, I mean, they didn't build the NBA, they didn't run the business, but they have leverage to ask for a shit ton of money. So they're sort of inheriting it in a way.
Yeah, they work hard, but I think they forget.
Yeah.
Some people do forget, and then they can become
So like,
jerks.
poor people that you probably grew up with that and then learn business and stuff like that, they probably are excellent. And then if you notice, athletes are freakishly a good amount of assholes. Like
It's too much.
Mike
too much
Tyson?
I meet them.
reference.
I meet them when they're.
was an asshole.
I met them when we're always shopping.
Yeah.
So they're pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I met Mike Tyson 3 times.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very cool.
Is he
Already
nice?
a sweetheart
Very,
now.
very, very nice.
Aw.
No, I met him. You know when I met him? I met him when he was, I don't know how old. How old is he? Like,
Probably 50.
40 something.
yeah. So
50?
he's about. I think he's like 10 years older than me, right? So I met him when he was like late 20s. I met him again when he was 40. Just when he got out, maybe like the Lennox Lewis fight. Remember that one? Like
Yeah.
when he was like late 20s, probably like 20 some years ago. I met him. I made him in his late 30s, and it was like maybe like 2-3 years ago. Very cool every time. Very friendly. Very nice guy. Nothing's wrong. Honestly, I think he's this. Means well. Has a good heart. He just has a short fuse,
Yeah.
and people know how to pick at it.
Yep.
He's not exactly anywhere near. He'll never be a rocket scientist. Let's put it this way. I don't want to say anything mean to him.
Do you
He's a
think he
nice guy.
beat Robin Givens? What do you think about that?
I think he did.
Oh.
Yeah, but you know what I think? I think though she knew it was like almost she was playing him like a puppet.
Like Rihanna and Chris Brown?
Maybe I don't know. I mean, Rihanna might be. I can't imagine the ego a woman has at that level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what he was saying, and like she's mad that he's cheating. Like you know what I mean? Whatever.
I'm not saying it's okay to beat women, obviously, but I think there are times when some people can be smarter and walk away instead of like pushing them,
Yeah.
be like,
Yeah.
motherfucker,
Like
fuck
cut
your
them off,
mom."
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're also in the car together.
Yeah.
So you can't just pull over and leave. Now, I'm not saying he was
Yeah,
right. You
right.
know, we just don't know what happened.
We don't know.
We don't know. She might hit him
Well-
like 4 times.
Who
Yeah.
knows? Who knows?
Well, I think I don't know if there is really such thing as a bad person. I guess so. We're being one-dimensional and like poor people that grow up to be. Because as much of a monster Tyson was for some of the things he did, he's still redeemable when you dig further in. Like everybody's pretty much redeemable when you really.
I think it's percentages.
in.
I think everyone has a amount of good in them. Everyone has a little bit of bad in them. Everybody. It's just the percent of
Yeah.
like, and and our beliefs are different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you might be a good guy. Like say I didn't know you might be a good guy, but you might not be my type of good guy. You know what I mean? And I might not be able to hang with you. You know what I mean? But you're still a good guy. You know what I mean? Because our belief system is different. What we believe in is different. What you might say this is good. I might say I don't think that's good. You know what I mean? But
Right.
that doesn't. There's also a line. But there are extreme cases where me and you are gonna absolutely. That's just fucked up. You know what I mean? And those are the actions when someone like say me and him didn't agree on a lot of things, but we could both see the guy say, all right, that's an action where I can't fuck with you anymore. You know what I mean? Then those things are never unagreeable. We'll both be like, oh, that's shitty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know?
Well, that brings me to my next point. Scientology. I'm not even gonna finish the sentence. Keep it nice and neutral.
All right, guys, we're actually out of time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a good time.
So the timing was kind of good. Cody, you want to tell them? Tell them your social media.
Yeah, we'll tell you what. Make it simple. If you go to codyjwoods.com, just Cody letter J Woods.com. I got all my social media there. Please follow on all of it.
Please do it. And hit the like on stuff and comment.
Yeah.
And Nancy.
Yes, at the Nancy J. Lee on everything. And I'm also in a sketch duo called Angels of Random. Angels of Random. And soon, you and I. It's going to come out.
It's coming. It's coming soon.
Nice.
We don't even know the title yet. We have a
Yes.
working title of. We got like 3. Chang's house is one. Whatever. Chang and mom. We'll figure it out.
I like Dante Mommy, but okay.
We'll figure it out.
Oh yeah. Jordan, number 2. Fuck. This is the hardest part. I think I'm gonna go Kareem.
Oh.
Just because Skyhook and all that. Unstoppable shot. And then number 3, maybe I'm gonna go with Wilt.
Oh.
Number 4, Shaq.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a big guy's game.
No Kobe?
I don't think he's in top 5.
Oh, wow.
It's just because he's my favorite player of all time. It's just those guys.
Well, at least it's dead honest.
And then
Wow.
I got Kobe above Shaq too.
see, that's the thing.
Even Kareem.
See, that's the thing. So I might put Kobe number 5 and maybe switch the Shaq, but they're interchangeable for me.
I was just going to say one last thing. I feel like whoever you choose kind of reflects your comedy game, too. You know what I mean? Like how you deal with your profession and other comedians and just your career.
It does. A
It
lot
does.
of
It's
reflective.
reflective.
Identity is attached to these lists. That's why they keep going around. Like we can't stop talking about it. Yeah. Dude, great podcast. Holy shit.
Thank you guys. Great time.
Thank you, Dante.
I'll see you guys later.